Matthew 24:15, Jesus speaks of the abomination of desolation, referring back to the prophecy in the book of Daniel. This event signals a decisive turning point in history. It represents a moment of extreme rebellion against God, connected to the desecration of what is holy. Jesus urges readers to understand, emphasizing that prophecy requires careful attention. Matthew 24:16-20 says, Jesus then gives very practical instructions to those in Judea should flee without delay. This urgency shows how severe the coming time will be. There is no room for hesitation or attachment to material things. Jesus also acknowledges human vulnerability, mentioning women with children and difficult seasons. This shows his compassion and realism. He understands how hard these moments will be. In Matthew 24-21, Jesus describes a time of suffering. By saying this, Jesus confirms that history is moving toward a climax. This period reveals the depth of human rebellion, but also the seriousness of divine judgment. Yet even here, God remains purposeful. Matthew 24:22. Jesus immediately adds that these days will be shortened for the sake of the elect. This verse is critical because it shows God's mercy even during judgment. Without divine intervention, humanity would not survive. This assures believers that God never loses control, even in the darkest chapter of history. Judgment is measured. In Matthew 24:23-26, Jesus warns that many false messiahs and prophets will appear, performing signs to deceive people. This deception will be powerful enough to mislead many if possible. Jesus emphasizes discernment. True faith will not be based on dramatic claims or secret revelations, but on obedience to his words. Believers are told not to chase every spiritual spectacle. Matthew 24:27, Jesus makes it clear that his return will not be hidden or secret. He compares it to lightning flashing across the sky. This means there will be no confusion when Christ returns. Everyone will know. This statement removes fear of missing him or being deceived by impostors. The return of Christ will be unmistakable and authoritative. In Matthew 24:29, Jesus describes disturbances in the heavens: the sun darkened, the moon not giving its light, and stars falling. These signs demonstrate that creation itself responds to the coming of its Creator. This moment marks the collapse of human pride and the end of earthly systems that oppose God. Nature itself testifies that something final is happening. Matthew 24:30. Jesus declares that the sign of the Son of Man will appear in heaven. He will come with power and great glory. This is a return in authority. All nations will see him, and many will mourn not because they were unaware, but because they rejected him. This moment confirms Jesus as King and Judge. Matthew 24:31. Jesus sends his angels to gather his chosen people from all over the earth. This shows the faithfulness of God to his promises.